Hello, I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and I'm with our co-host tonight, Ted Randall, WB8PUM. We'd like to welcome you to Amateur Radio Roundtable. Today is Tuesday, May 19th, 2015. We thank you for joining us tonight, and please help us spread the word about this new ham radio and shortwave webcast. It's every Tuesday night at this time, 8 p.m., which is 0100 UTC on Wednesdays, and you can watch it on W5KUB.com. In addition to all you guys watching out there, this program is being simulcast on shortwave radio stations. So I know a lot of the ham radio operators are moving over to 5085 kilohertz to listen, and they've been giving us some signal reports each night. We invite every listener out there to join the webcast at W5KUB.com. That way they'll not only be able to hear us, but also be able to see the program. We'd like for you to join the chat room. All you have to do is put your name, your username in the box, and you don't need a password. Just enter your name, click the sign in button, and you're in there. We'd love to hear from you from the chat room. Give us your location and a signal report. And then a little later in the show, each one of you watching, if you've got a camera and if you've got a Google Plus account, I'm going to send out a link. And you will be able to join us live on the webcast in the second half of the show, where people will actually be able to see you. Your video and audio will be on the show. Come in here and just say hello to us or talk about a project you're working on. That'll be a lot of fun. We can have up to 10 people connect like that. Tonight our show's, we're going to talk a little bit about the Dayton Hamvention, which just occurred this past weekend. That's the world's largest ham radio event with about 20 to 30,000 people attending from around the world. Bill Cahill AD8BC will be joining us to talk about that. And we're also going to have a special interview with KK6EK talking about the new Dxpedition to Heard Island in March of 2016. And then toward the end of the show, we're going to be showing you an interview with a family of ham radio operators. You will really be surprised when you see this. You won't want to miss it. So, hey, Ted Randall's on here with us. Ted, how did it go at Dayton this year? You were busy, I was busy.
It was just a good show all the way around. A lot of people stopped by the booth, and we put them on the air and talked about just all kinds of things. And then we passed out all of those QSL cards announcing Art Bell's return to radio and how he's going to be on WTWW shortwave in the evening. So it was kind of cool all the way around. We had a lot of good visitors there, and it's kind of cool to sit in the booth and watch the traffic flow. Watching everybody going in all different directions. How was your end? How much traffic did you have on your end, and how many passerbys were you able to get on TV?
Well, they wore us out, Ted. We were right there at that door, and anybody going in and out through there sees us and grabs us. So it was nonstop from the time we could get turned on to the time we closed down for the day. We had a lot of cool people come up, and we talked about a lot of things, and we had a couple of those that we're going to play tonight. But again, it was a great ham radio convention. I don't know the numbers yet. I'm guessing 25,000, maybe a little more this year. But we're kind of sad it's over with, We got to wait another year now for it. But there are going to be other ham things in between there. And, hey, we didn't even have time to get by your... I think I came by your show once and said hello, but we had to keep rolling, and... we did run into you, I think, in the arena there one time.
Yeah, and but once again, Dayton's a busy time, and I told Tom. He came up and he said, "Well, we need to get together and get on the air." And I said, "No. I said, let's put everybody else on the air here at Dayton, and we can get back together on Tuesday nights and talk to each other later on. Let's give this Dayton crowd a chance on the air." I don't know if that makes sense.
All right, hey Ted, we're getting a report that there's no audio on shortwave, so I don't know if you switched.
I don't know. I'll have to check it out.
Okay. Okay, very good. Well, hey, in the meantime, while you're looking at that, we can go on over to Bill Cahill, and we can talk to him about Hamvention, and then you can come back, and when you get back in here, just jump in and join us, okay? All right, so let's see if we can go and talk with Bill AD8BC. Bill is from Hurst, Texas. He's with us tonight, and he's going to talk a little about Hamvention, and we got a few little interesting pictures that we're going to pop in here for us. So let's see if let's see. Okay, I think I got you on here. Say, hey, how you doing? And you made it back to Texas.
Yeah, but I got
you had a further trip to go than we did. Well, we flew a little bit, but it was on the ground. Yeah. Hey, so tell us how many years you've been going up there? 11th year, okay.
I was going when I lived in Michigan, right, and it was a lot easier to get there from Michigan than Texas.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be. Okay. Well, I tell you what, let's do, Bill. Let me pull up some pictures that that we had here, and we'll talk a little about them. I'm not sure what these are, but let me find them here.
Well, he's doing that.
Yeah, hey Ted, I hear we got reports. It's on. You must have fixed it.
I was going to ask him whereabouts in Michigan. You said Michigan, so I was kind of wondering where, because that's my old stomping ground.
Well, I lived in Grand Rapids for about 8 or 9 years before I moved to Texas. The company I worked for moved us down here.
Aha! I didn't know that's where radio station WGRD is. I remember very well.
It certainly is. Yes.
Yeah, I was just curious. Anytime anybody says Michigan, I kind of wonder, like, whereabouts in Michigan are you from?
Well, I think in Michigan we did this. So this would be Detroit, Flint, Grand Rapids. Michigan kind of looks like a big hand, especially if you put the Upper Peninsula on it.
That's kind of interesting the way people from Michigan show where they're from. They hold their hand up and point to a spot on their hand.
Texas is a little more difficult. I haven't figured out that one yet.
Yeah. Well, hey, Ted's worked and built just about every radio station in the country, I think. So
I guess I wound up in Flint and Saginaw later. I was, grew up in the Detroit area. Then when I got up to Flint and Saginaw, I was telling somebody the other day, they were talking about where they were from, and they were from Michigan. I said, well, come September when they started running the snowmobile ads, I decided, you know what? I've had all the cold weather that I care to take. And about 1979, I beelined it to Nashville, Tennessee, and I've been here ever since. So I never looked back.
Well, I will have to say our weather is a little bit better here, but we can still get some pretty nasty weather. Mm-hmm. Well, look, let me throw a couple of these pictures up, sure. And we're gonna probably next week or the next we will have time to pull together a lot more really cool Dayton pictures. Ted, I don't know if and Bill about you, but it was a massive undertaking, and when we got back at midnight Sunday night, all day Monday, we felt terrible. Half the truck is still not unpacked yet. I threw the studio together here. I had to edit some videos today and take care of a lot of things, and we just kind of threw this together in the last few minutes here. Let's pull this picture up. This is an interesting picture here. Now, this is a weird looking group here.
Sure.
Can you tell me anything about that?
We have a pretty active Facebook group. I think you're part of it, Tom. And some of us decided to get together for a group picture. Unfortunately, it is very difficult to schedule group events at Hamvention because of everyone wants to see a different forum, or they just run off and do what they want to do. But we managed to get a few of us together. On the left is Joe K0NEB, the official photographer of Dayton Hamvention. And then there's me, and third person in from the left is my Elmer, Bob, KA9MDP. Mm-hmm. To celebrate my 25 years in the hobby, I flew him out from Sacramento to come to his first Hamvention since the late 80s.
Well, that's great.
And you got to take care of your Elmers because they took care of you.
Oh, yeah.
And The girl with the tower on the top, that's Kristen, and she's affectionately known as Antenna Hair Girl. And then Greg McFarland and he's going to kill me. That's Brad Catherines. I almost forgot.
Yeah, that's Brad there. Well, you know, hey, let me jump back to the Antenna Hair Girl. Now, what's her name?
Kristen.
Kristen, yeah. I've got another picture, I think, somewhere over here, but you might not can see that very good on the webcast here, but Kristen has a tower on her head with antennas on it, and she has her hair pulled up and tied around this tower, so she walks around with a tower built out of her hair, and man, it's hard to explain, but
she did tell me she takes it out every night. They don't prop her up in a corner to go to bed.
Oh, hey, she'd have to. Okay? There's no way to sleep in that. Wow. Let's see what we got here next. You must have went into Dara van or something. Here's a.
Oh, we did. I took a few interesting shots. They have a fantastic van. It's got to be worth at least $250,000 with all the equipment in it, and they deserve every penny for all the work that their club does to put this on. So, but it's got a number of. I think it's got one or two of the software-defined radios from. I wrote this down. Flex Radio, I believe. And they on the outside of the van, I didn't put a picture up, but they've got a big plasma display that they were also demonstrating the same screen. But it's really quite the. You can cycle through them if you want.
Yeah. I think on the last show we had a picture of the outside of that van, and it looked really, really nice. Man, this thing's got a lot of room in it. Look at that.
Oh, it does. It was a lot of fun to walk through. It's very impressive.
Now, this van would be used for special events or maybe even an emergency. If there's an emergency somewhere, yes, they would bring this van here, and you've got multiple operating positions in there.
Yes, there's 4 operating positions, and I believe they can patch the audio to any location in the van or outside, patch it to the outside so they can hear it. It's really well done. It's all professionally done.
Okay, let's see. Let's jump to the next one here. Oh, this is one of the positions. That's a nice looking setup there.
They've got the flex radio on the right and the regular windows on the left.
All right, and then we've got some rack mount there. It looks like.
Yeah, they have. They can patch to all their different antenna and radio positions in the top, and they've got some SWR meters, and I believe those are Kenwood TMV 708 bases, 2 or 3 of them, and they have the D710 up on the top.
And let's see. Okay, here's the Dara. No, this is the DARC. What's that, Dara Amateur Radio Club?
No, the Deutschland Amateur.
Oh, the Deutschland. Okay.
I put that in there. I plan on going to Friedrichshafen next month.
Oh, okay.
And that's the group that puts on that convention.
Yeah, we've never been to that. We've even possibly thought about it this year ourselves. But that's a cool trip. So, have you been here before?
I have not. I have not been outside of North America for about 12 years.
Okay, well, that'll be an interesting trip for you. Now, this next picture right here, this I studied this, and this is really interesting. This looks like a mobile home pulled by a motorcycle.
Yeah, my friend Bob, K9MDP, took this picture, and the next picture is a showing of the operating position inside, but
yeah, but look at this thing. It's so small you can pull it by a motorcycle. He's got a window air conditioner unit in it.
It was running, and he's got a generator, a Honda generator converted to propane to power it.
Okay, well, here's the inside. It looks like it's pretty limited inside. He does have an operating position there, and maybe a bed to sleep in. I wonder if he slept in that during Hamvention.
I think he probably did. The bed was made.
Yeah, I think as long as he didn't make any noise, he might could get away with it there. Now, how does he power that? Looks like a Honda generator.
That was a Honda generator. I thought that was interesting because he converted it to propane.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people show me you can run just about any engine on propane like that. You can just stick that hose down in the carburetor and it runs. But I imagine he's kind of got this thing fine tuned where it runs really nice, And those Honda generators are very quiet.
They are very quiet. Sometimes he has to start it with gas and switch it over to propane, but he says, can't remember, he gets 2 days from one of those bottles of propane.
Well, that's pretty good. And then, of course, this is what everybody's been looking for right here.
Yes.
Everybody's been talking about this on all the Facebook groups. And I don't know where you found this. I have not seen this.
This was the main entrance to the main arena.
Okay,
where they sold the tickets.
So, Ted, we're showing a poster here where this is a sneak peek, renovations in 2016. They're showing us pictures of where they're going to renovate all of the Hera arena there.
Well, it's it's a little overdue.
The pictures look like an artist concept drawing. They look very clean and I don't know. They look brand new, don't they, Bill?
Well, the whole thing about the Hera Arena, though, is the Hera Arena is old. I mean, it's been there. I remember my first Dayton was 1977, and it had been going strong well before 1977. And, of course, it houses all kinds of events all year long. So the arena itself has aged. I mean, like even in the parking lot area, out there with the flea market, it's all broke up and hard to walk on and all that. But the ironic thing about it is when you get to Dayton and you get in with the crowd and all that's going on, that arena disappears. You don't even think about it.
It sure does. It sure does. And it would be nice if it was brighter and new, but it's still home.
Well, I feel the same way, Ted. I've always gone up here just to have fun and see the radios and do things, and I really never paid a lot of attention to the facility itself, other than, every now and then, the bathrooms might need a little bit cleaning. But when you get 20,000 people in here, I mean, that's going to happen. But, I noticed this year, after hearing so many people complain about it and talking about how bad it is, I did notice it this year, and when I walked around, I noticed a lot of things that needed repairing. Of course, we've been outside for 33 years. I didn't get inside the building much, so outside, we always knew the parking lot needed repaving.
Well, like I said, though, it disappears when you start moving around and talking to people and looking at things and all of that. The only thing I guess I noticed this year is it seems like the acoustical ceiling tile on the inside kind of makes you wonder, well, how hard would it be, to put some more tile, at least cut some pieces of tile to cover the holes, but you know what? You don't notice it. It's the Dayton Hamvention, and your mind is on radios and other people and eyeballing friends and going out in that flea market and looking all around and finding stuff that that gets your attention. You're like, I can't live without this. I found an old CW tube transmitter out in the flea market area, and I hadn't walked very far at all. And I asked the guy, I said, what do you want for this thing? Because I thought this would be good to tinker with and something good to, tinker with the grandkids and whatnot. He says, I don't know. Give me $5. Okay, so where are you going to find a tube-type CW transmitter for $5 that you can take home and use it to teach the grandkids? Nowhere. Just the Dayton Hamvention. That's the only place you're going to find it, And you don't think about anything else. You just think about what you're doing and the fun you're having and the people you're talking to.
I agree with you there. Well, while we got some Dayton pictures up, I've got a few, just 2 or 3 here I'm going to throw up here real quick. These are some, here's a couple, I think, interesting shots. That's my friend on the, standing to my left there. That's Bill Chisholm, WZ5X. And you never know what's going to happen at Hamvention. The guy to my right walked up. He's WZ6X. So we had WZ6X and WZ5X together. They came together in the same spot. What's the odds of that happening? I guess none. All right.
That's a time continuum thing there.
Yeah.
Some sort of a reality warp. You know?
And then here's a picture of, this is Art Kuntz, W3WM. Art was licensed back in 1939. We had a long talk with him. Everybody enjoyed hearing him talk. In fact, so much we brought him back the next day, and he sat down and answered questions for our viewers. But Art talked about he remembers when the bands were shut down. He was on the air when we were attacked at World War II, and how they went silent. And he talks about his experience operating up to the war, and then his service in World War II, and then how ham radio came alive again after the war. And that was some really interesting discussions there. And then, of course, we walked down. Right behind us is our friend Bob Heil there at Heil Sound, and we had to say hello to Bob, and he came by a time or two and said hello to us. So that's just a few pictures that we had, and we wanted to talk a little about Hamvention. So hey Bill, so what do you think, man? You gonna keep going back as long as you can?
Oh, absolutely. It's on my calendar. I've already put in for a vacation at work for the next 5 years.
All right, good. Well, you know what? That reminds me. I need to start trying to get my hotel. Used to, you had to make your hotel arrangements at least 11 months prior to Hamvention, or you would not get a room. The last few years, you could get by and find rooms much later, but I tell you, it's on the grow again, and it's going to start getting tougher, at least to get the hotels that you want. So I got to remember to do that. Well, Bill, we thank you very much for coming on tonight from Texas. Sure. And talking to us about Dayton and your trip up there. And we did see you, but man, it's just so much to do up here.
There is, even if you're not running a webcast, or just you can't stop and talk for too long, or you'll miss something.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, look, I'm gonna go, and we're gonna go ahead to our next segment of the program here, and we will talk with you later.
All right. Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right. Thank you, Bill. All right. That was Bill Cahill AD8BC down in Texas, giving us a little report on his adventures at Hamvention. And maybe in the next week or two, like Ted said, we've got a lot of pictures. I think Ted's son took probably 400 pictures there, so maybe we can put something together, and we can give you a little bit better perspective there.
Now, when these broadcasts are going on, and you know that Tom is moving around with a camera, and sometimes there's a little lull between things, you don't want to ever stop watching, okay? You may think, well, I can step away from this for a while, but from what I understand, during one of those pauses, according to what I was told, now this may not be correct, but Tom grabbed a ukulele and started playing and singing a whole bunch of ham radio songs, and I missed it totally because I was in the booth. So I'm just saying, if you think it's in a lull, you better just kind of buckle down and watch the screen, because you never know what you're going to miss.
Well, that's true. I may have to pull out the Guitar Hero here. I'm pretty good with it. I tell you, I'm almost, well, not expert level, but I'm higher than beginner level. Maybe we just need to have a show one night, Ted, and we just, we get some of your country stars and musicians and you, and we just all get together, and I get the Guitar Hero, and maybe we put on a program like that one night.
Oh, you have to leave me out of that.
Oh, man.
When I stay off of cameras and I stay away from microphones when there's singing required. Just don't go too well. Well, what we really need to do is we need to corner, if we can. We need to take a TV camera and go over and pay a visit to Ronnie Millsap one evening. I'll have to try to set something up like that.
I would love to go see Ronnie Millsap. I know he's a friend of yours, and I would like for you to arrange that. and get us over there. And I don't know if he'd want to do some kind of thing for a webcast or get on. I mean, he may want $100,000 to do it. I don't know, but and then again, he may just jump right in here. But I'd love to see Ronnie, and that'd be great.
I don't think he'd want to him money to come on. The problem is just catching him on a schedule, because you figure, these guys are out. A lot of people don't realize this with country music artists. They're on the road. They're only home so many weeks out of the whole year. The rest of the time, they're on the road. So, they may do 40 weeks on the road and only be home for whatever. So it's really hard to catch them when there's just nothing going on. And I don't think that is ever, because then when they come in off the road, they got all this studio stuff to do and other things. It's really difficult. But we can catch up with him at some point. I know we can.
All right, well, let's do it. Hey, one of the things we're going to do tonight is we're going to give away, and if I can get my camera person here, I'm going to show everybody what we're going to give away. This thing's really heavy. Let me change cameras here. We're going to give away a Bill Expedition key. I mean, this thing weighs almost 5 pounds. It is very, very heavy. And let me tell you, I tried this out there at their booth. This is the most precision. This is the most precision key that I've ever tried. It's been really, really great. So we're going to give that away in a little while. So everybody, start crossing your fingers, because we're gonna give that away in just a minute. So let me take this opportunity here again to welcome our shortwave listeners tonight on WTWW 5085 kilohertz, right there in Lebanon, Tennessee, where Ted Randall is. In fact, Ted is turning the crank tonight on the generator that's powering the 100,000 watt transmitter there. And we hope all the shortwave listeners will join us in the webcast at w5kub.com. If you have a computer and the internet's close by, please join. Join our Facebook group. I'm asking everyone, even the hams here, to join our Facebook webcast group, W5KUB. Or you can click on the Join Us on Facebook button below the chat room. There's also a link there where you can click on to sign up for our mail distribution list, where we can notify you of live events like this and other things like Dayton Hamvention and other special things. So let's see. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB, and the co-host tonight, Ted Randall, WB8PUM.
I mentioned too that for the folks, don't forget to jump in on our website for a moment or two, and I guess what Holly and Matt and David say, and that is to go to I guess friend us on Facebook and to follow us on Twitter, and then they'll get whatever announcements there is on things that are coming up or whatever. I'm not a real big Facebook person. I jump in once in a while and I kind of look around, and it just seems like Facebook moves so slow. It's like,
Gee, I didn't even think you were on Facebook.
Yeah, I think the QSO show's up to about very close to 5,000 friends. We're right at the limit, where they cut you off and say that's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
I didn't know that.
There's a bunch of them up there, and I don't know what they do on Twitter. There's all kinds of things going on up there that they get into that I don't know that much about it. Don't follow it,
All right. Well, look. Yeah. Let's. Hey, and you're. That's what QSO Radio Show, right? That's where they need to go.
QSORadioshow.com. Yeah, and I guess QSO Radio Show on Facebook too. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I'm not.
Now we're getting to the bottom of it. You must not be the one that takes care of that. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm not. I am not. I just
all right.
got in trouble if I did that.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next segment. I think this is a very special segment that we're going to have tonight on our webcast. This week I met Rich, KK6EK, and he has a very interesting story about an upcoming Dxpedition. The Dxpedition's call will be VK0EK. And for all of our shortwave listeners out there, let me explain to them really quickly what a Dxpedition is. It's kind of like an expedition, but it's DX means long distance for ham radio operators. And we have people that go out on a Dxpedition to foreign countries, to remote islands. They set up tents and their radios, and they make contacts with people around the world, giving all those people an opportunity to make a contact with a new country. Now, some of these countries have nobody in them, or some of these islands are uninhabited. So that's what makes them so rare. So that's what a Dxpedition is, and that's what's going to happen in March of this year. So let's just jump right into the interview here. Ted, you probably won't hear it very well because it's going out over the webcast and it's going to be delayed. But here it goes. It's about 15-minute interview. Okay, I'm with Bob, KK6EK, and Bob is going to talk about the Heard Island Dxpedition, right?
It's Heard Island.
Heard Island.
Like
Heard.
I
I heard it on the grapevine. And that call letters for the Heard Island Dxpedition is VK0EK. Now, where is the Heard Island?
Heard Island is in the. Should I talk over here?
Yeah, talk directly in the mic and look
yeah.
at the camera.
Heard Island is in the South Indian Ocean. It's about 1,000 miles from Antarctica. So if you started at the tip of India and went south, eventually you would get to Heard Island. That's where it is.
So that's pretty far south there.
Yeah, it's 53 degrees south latitude. So it's in a kind of nasty part of the ocean. Yeah.
Now, okay. When you said nasty part of the ocean, I'm thinking back about when it had that crash off Indonesia. They say a lot of the garbage kind of gets to. This when you say nasty, what do you mean nasty part of the ocean?
Well, the weather and the sea state are nasty, and you're absolutely right. It's a good reference. That when you were looking at the images of the news broadcast about that Indonesian plane, right down in the bottom of the screen was where Heard Island is.
Okay.
So you know that it's a very difficult environment to work in, and so it takes a fair effort, and it's not for everybody to take a trip like this.
So is this island inhabited or?
Oh no, it's a possession. It's a territory of Australia. It's one of the most isolated places in the world. It has the largest colony of king penguins in the world, a lot of elephant seals, but there are no people, there are no facilities. We take all life support, and we're there for a short time, and then we take all of our equipment and all of our waste and everything with us when we leave.
Yeah, that's great. Now, how many people were on the Dxpedition with you?
We have 14. We'll have 14. We're going to be on the Braveheart, which is a fairly standard, very often used expedition vessel, and so we'll have 14. We'll be on the island for 21 days. Okay, so
I was thinking that maybe this has already happened, but this is in the future, right? This is not. This particular one has not happened yet.
That's correct. This is going to be in March 2016.
Okay.
This next March. Yeah.
Okay, March. Okay.
We have 14. We'll have 14.
So, what do you take gasoline? I mean, I guess you have generators, but do you use solar or what?
Well, no, we wouldn't use solar. We'll have generators run on gasoline. That'll power the radios, the lights, all of our other electrical equipment. Of course, we have to take water and food. We have to take galley equipment to prepare the food, shelters against very high winds and rain. It'll be just above freezing temperature all the time. It's going to be wet and sloppy. So again, it's not for everybody. It's not a comfortable trip. But of course, there's a reason why it has not been activated since 1997 when I led the expedition there, which was VK0IR. That was 1997. There's a really good reason why nobody's gone there since, and it's partially because it's such a terrible place, and the sea state and the weather is so terrible that you have to be really obsessed in order to do this, and we are, of course.
Well, one of the things I'd like to do someday is hook up with one of you guys that are going to do a Dxpedition somewhere and try to get a live feed from there. Now, I know maybe you might have a satellite phone. I get for safety or something, or you have a satellite phone?
Yeah, it's a great question, and so I have a great answer for you.
All right.
First of all, of course, we'll have satellite phones. That's mainly for safety, and we'll have local communications. But what we will have is a real-time online website, and this is a page called DXA. And what that does is it displays the radio operation updated every minute. So let's say you or any other DXer makes a contact with us and we log you. Within 60 seconds after that, this particular web page is automatically updated. You don't have to do anything. All you have to do is watch it. And it will be updated with your call sign in your QTH. And that confirms that you are safely in the log. And if you don't see it, you're supposed to make another contact. If you do see it, you should not make another contact. So that's real time.
So you're going to have an internet connection?
Yeah, we will have an internet connection through a satellite telephone.
Through satellite phone, okay.
Yeah.
I would love to do an interview with you guys down there at some point, but like a Skype interview might take a lot of bandwidth, and I'm sure
we can arrange it. It would be great. We'll have, of course, satellite phones with regular voice, and of course this is. This costs more than the data mode that we use for the operation that I just explained, DXA. But we'd be pleased to plan that.
Do you think we could get any video through, or would it be audio only?
Video is going to be pretty expensive.
Okay.
We would have the capability of doing it.
Okay.
And if we had a sponsor, if somebody paid the bill for the video uplink, we'd be happy to do it, but we can't allocate the donations and the sponsors' funds for that because it's kind of optional.
I understand. Here's what we can do, man. I can put some still pictures up on our live broadcast.
Yeah.
And we can have you guys come in by phone. We can patch you in live, too.
That would work.
And we do a Tuesday night live show, a ham radio show every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's also simulcast on shortwave radio around the world at the same time.
It would work beautifully.
So people will be listening to this around the world.
We'll be able to upload pictures to you, pictures taken on site, a minimum or a reasonable number of those. Probably not the video unless there's a sponsor that comes in and pays for it. But you could use those, and it would work beautifully. We'd love to do that.
Well, let's do this before when we part here. I'm gonna give you our card, and I'd like to get information from you.
Yeah.
And we want to plan on one of our Tuesday live shows.
All right.
While you're on island, while you're operating, and have you guys give us a report.
Yeah.
And we'll throw some pictures up there to the world. Okay.
It'd be absolutely great.
Yeah.
Look forward to it.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, I've always wanted to get some Dxpedition guys on our live show. We've had a few on in the past shows, but this sounds exciting,
Well, this is one in a number of expeditions that I have organized and led for 30 years or so. Mm-hmm. So this one is turning out to be more challenging than probably any of those that I've done. Over the years, and part of it is because of the location. Mm-hmm. Part of it is because of the transportation is so difficult to find to get to the island, and the expense is so much higher than it used to be. So it's been a real challenge to organize it. I think we've got all of the essential required gates that we had to go through: permit, vessel, expectation of the funding, and so on. We've got those in place. So we're in the process of preparing for actually doing, getting our equipment together, planning shipping, and so on. We do have, at this moment, we have room for one or possibly two more operators. We have lots of scientists who want to go with us, but the radio operators have the priority. So if we encounter a person who's a Dxpedition radio operator, I'd love to talk to him.
Well, it sounds interesting. I went through a survival school in the Air Force, but I don't think I'd want to camp out with you guys for, how long have you been in, a week or two?
We're going to be on Heard Island 21 days.
It sounds like you're going to be roughing it down here.
We're going to be roughing it,
Are you going to have a medical doctor with you?
Yes, we will.
That's good.
Yep.
Okay, so how many DXpeditions have you been on?
I've done expeditions for 35 years. A lot of those were scientific expeditions. Then I started incorporating amateur radio in those expeditions, and then I started doing pure DXpeditions. So Heard Island in 1997, that was VK0IR. Curry Atoll in 2005, K7C. In 2002, it was San Felix Island. Before that, it was Peter 1 Island in 1994, Easter Island in 1995, and on like that. So I've done a lot of expeditions. We know how to do this. Some are easy, some are hard. This was a hard one, but I think we've got it on the chase now.
So give us a little rundown on how you're going to get there, how long it's going to take you, where are you going to start your flight, where are you going to get the boat, where are you going to get the helicopter. Tell us how you're going to do it.
Yeah, great question. We're going to use a vessel called the Braveheart that's been used for many DXpeditions. It will leave from Cape Town, South Africa on March 6th next year. 10 days to Heard Island. On Heard Island for nominally 3 weeks. Then 10 more days to get to Fremantle, Western Australia. And that's a total of 44 days unless we shorten it in some way.
Wow.
But a nominal 44-day total expedition time.
So just to do this, to let hams work a new country, it's going to take you 44 days of your time and 13 more people or so. I mean, that's a big commitment you guys are making.
For me, I can't think of anything I'd rather do than this. Of course, this is why we do it. We're kind of obsessed, and we're going to have a team of other people who are similarly obsessed with getting to Heard Island, and so.
Just a question: if your food runs out, is it legal to eat a penguin, or is that against the law down here? I mean, I don't know.
It's definitely against the law, and we definitely will not run out of food.
Okay, very good. So
it's definitely against the law.
Take plenty there,
Yeah, that's right. There, I have a kind of a personal thing. I'll just take 20 seconds and tell you. When I was on Heard Island in '97, I made friends with one of the elephant seals, a very large and old elephant seal, and we had a conversation, and I called him Elio. So we had a conversation of what it was like, and I asked him, what is it like to live here at the edge of the world, the end of the world? And he said to me, this is not the edge of the world, this is the center of the world. And so I'm looking forward to going back and seeing if Elio is still there, and we'll carry on with our conversation.
Well, that's a great story there. Wow. Well, let's see. So you're going to be working. How many bands are you going to work?
We'll work all bands, all modes. Of course, 6 meters won't work. We're hoping maybe 10 meters will. 160 is going to be a little tougher because of being in March. Propagation in March is better than it is in other times for the higher bands like 2015 and so on. But we'll be able. Don't forget, in 1997, we went there for VK0IR. Absolutely at the bottom of the sunspot cycle, there were 0 sunspots, and we logged 83,000 QSOs, and that was a world record at the time. So we consider it not important what the propagation is. Yeah. We're going to work essentially everybody we can. We're going to give emphasis to first-time onlys, all-time new ones, and I think people will be satisfied unless there's a disaster of some kind. But
will you guys be running any high power? I guess you take
the
some
legal limit
amplifiers
is
with you.
400 watts.
Oh, 400.
Yeah. And so we will run the legal limit, of course. We'll be very strong on CW, sideband as well. We'd like to find a RIDI operator, a specialist who does RIDI. We have an opening for that, so if there's anybody who wants to join us and do RIDI predominantly, we'd love to talk to them.
They asked, do you plan to transmit slow scan TV of real images from Heard Island? You gonna do any slow scan TV images or anything like that?
We won't do that. The bandwidth is too high for that. That's too expensive. What we will do is upload still images, digital images. As we said before, we can't afford, unless we have a sponsor, to upload video. If somebody wants to come along with $10,000, $20,000 and sponsor video, we'd be delighted to do it. But we can't allocate the donors' funds for that.
Well, I've got some friends that have talked about and been on some of the expeditions, and we talked about the cost. And I mean, some of these cost $500,000 to put on.
Yeah.
I would imagine this thing is going to be pretty expensive, isn't
this
it?
Is going to be slightly below $450,000 total. So the way we do this, the way I do the budget is, I take all of the projected expenses that we'll need. The boat is the biggest, of course. And then I subtract what I think can reliably be raised from individual donors, from clubs, foundations, and QSL card income. I subtract that. Then I divide by the number of people we have, the number of team members. That'll be 14 here. And that's a fair share. So right now there's some uncertainty in what we can raise. So the cost for the individual is between $15,000 and $18,000.
Okay. And here's a question: RTTY. You've already said that you're going to be doing some radio teletype, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be one of the modes.
And we'd love to have an operator on the team who has a specialty. At this moment we don't have a specialty radio operator. We'd love to meet somebody if they
guys, everybody out there watching now, if you want to be a RTTY operator or you got a specialty, contact Bob, KK6EK, and they'll put you down with all the other people that are applying, right. And may the best man win.
Here at the conference, we're there with Array Solutions booth in the east room of the conference. So we're standing there, and if anybody hears this and wants to come over and talk with us, be delighted to meet them. So.
I'm sure we probably missed a few questions there. I'm trying to watch them as the questions went by.
Yeah.
But
appreciate those questions.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to tell us about Heard Island before we break up here?
Hey, let's real quick, while we're at it, Kathy's going to crank Hambot up. We've got a nice Bigali Expedition key. This key is about, I don't know, a couple $100 at least. It's going to cost probably that much to ship it. Now, it won't be that much, but you know what? The winner of this key has to agree to pay shipping. That's all I ask. You've got it'll be a brand new, in the box, Bigali key. There it is. You can see it. And I just took it out of the box to show it to you. Pedro Bigali makes these. He's a machinist and does beautiful work. So what we'll have you do is, whoever wins this, if they will pay the shipping, that's all I ask for it. And they've got a $250 precision key. So Kathy's got Hambot cranked up over there. And everybody, the rules are you don't talk while Hambot is giving a prize. So everybody in the chat room get quiet. And Ted, you and I can keep talking because we're not going to win this thing.
How do you know?
Well, I know I'm not going to win it. You may be logged in the chat room. I don't know.
No. I just figured you must have some proxies there maybe going on.
So it looks like we're looking.
It sounded like you thought that was really a nice key, so I figured you might have some proxies lined up.
Hey, $257. We're looking for K8JA. K8JA is a name that Hambot drew. He's got about 30 seconds left to claim it. If you don't, we're going to pick another name here. Ted, do you operate any CW?
Yes, I do.
Okay, we've got a winner. K8JA is here, and he just won this Bigali key. Camera person, can you show him a close up here again? Now, this is from our webcast, so it's going to be engraved. It's going to be engraved with W5KUB.com. This is one of our prizes that we give out. You can see what it looks like right there. It says W5KUB.com.
bringing ham radio to you. That's our motto, and it says Dayton Hamvention 2015. We were unable to get it out the door at the Dayton Hamvention, so we wanted just to go ahead and get it on out to a winner, and we gave it to I forget the call. I have to look here. I've got it right here. K8JA. So K8JA, tell us, do you operate any CW? Are you going to be able to use this key? And do you want it? If you don't want it, just tell me, and we'll give it to somebody else. So Ted, did you say you worked any CW?
Yeah, I work CW. I would have to say, I don't get on much. I don't get a chance to get on the radio, but I like working CW. But I'm not a speed demon, so if I'm on, I'm clipping along maybe 13, 14 words a minute, and that's all I care to do. Like my brain can't think that fast. Mm-hmm. CW to me, I think, is a very, very relaxing mode.
All right. Well, I've got an extra class license, and I work CW a little bit, not too much. I'm mostly on a voice, but I can still do CW. I can pretty easily do 15 words a minute maybe. I'd probably be a little rusty at 20. But great. So we got a winner, and let's see. He says yes, absolutely. He will pay shipping. He's good on WRZ. What is WRZ? You think that was a mistake?
Oh, that's a typo, I'm sure.
Yeah, the W is next to the Q there, so I'm sure that is. But we understand what he's saying. K8JA, congratulations for watching tonight and entering the drawing there. Let's see what we had next going here. One of the things that we're going to do, we're going to help sponsor. We're a mutual sponsor of this Heard Island Dxpedition, and as I mentioned, they're going to be advertising, our logos and our webcast, and of course we'll advertise them. In fact, what we plan on doing is they're going to be live for 21 days down there. And we will we're going to try to arrange a live report from them on our Tuesday night shows. We might even have video. It just depends. I think they're wanting to do video. It's going to be very, very costly through a satellite telephone down at the bottom of the earth. And if you looked at that on a map, and I saw some people talking about it, it is way down there. It's only 1,000 miles from the South Pole. And as he said, it's a nasty place. The temperature is about 30. It's about freezing. It's raining all the time. They have to put up with very high winds. Can you imagine being on this remote island? It's kind of like Survivor, You may get blown away down here. They are taking a doctor with them, but this is roughing it, and we need to thank these guys for roughing it like this to get these new countries for us to work. They're going to be gone a total of about 45 days from start to finish. So it's a big commitment of about 12 people. And like you said, they've got a number of sponsors, but once they subtract the sponsor money, it could cost each one of them anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000 each. That might be their share to go on these trips. Ted, would you like to go on a Dxpedition like that?
Yeah, as long as there was air conditioning and
well, yeah, a little electricity, air conditioning. Yeah,
the roughing it part, field day by itself becomes a challenge, because the heat gets hot and you're out in a tent and you're swatting at flies and mosquitoes and things. It's a lot nicer to run indoors with air conditioning.
Yeah, wow.
That's for the younger people. Those young guys can get out there and rough it,
Well, hey, like I told him, I had this survival school in the Air Force, and hey, I made it through fine. It was no problem at all. I'm not sure I would want to do that again, but it was fun when we did it the first time. But that was like 45 years ago, I guess. Let's see what we got next here. Let's see. This is the interview I had with some new young hams there at Dayton this year. Everyone in this family either has their license or they're studying to get their license, and it's very inspiring to see these boys and girls at such a young age to have such a good understanding of ham radio. And if you listen closely to the I think the 8-year-old or the maybe the 10-year-old, I think it's 10, you will know that she is an expert. Let me tell you, she's extra class licensed, does 20 words a minute. Her first contact was satellite. She can tell you how to program any handy-talkie, and I didn't have this video clip doesn't have it, but she actually was teaching me about ERP. I asked her why her antenna was so long on her radio, and she told me about the little short antenna that comes with it, and she explained ERP to me. This is a whole family here of hams. This family is composed of Dad, that's James Lee, WX4TV, the mom, Michelle, N8ZQZ, Zachariah, WX4TVJ, Faith Hannah, AE4FH, and Hope, KM4IPF, and her sister Grace, who's studying for her tech test. All these children are homeschooled. I just want you guys to see how well they speak and how smart they are from their homeschooling there. So we're going to look at that video real quick. Hopefully it will it'll run okay for us. So here we go. What's your name? And talk right straight into the microphone.
My name is Zechariah.
Zachariah? Okay.
Yeah, my name is Zechariah.
And what's your call?
WX4TVJ.
WX4, okay. And you?
Well, my name's Faith Hannah, and my call sign is WA4BBC, and tomorrow a vanity call, which is A4FH, should be coming.
You got a new call coming tomorrow?
Yeah,
And what's it going to be?
AE4FH.
FH, okay. And what do you got here? Some type of special recognition?
This is a confirming card. I don't really know what it is.
This is from the Gordon West Radio School. So did you just pass your test recently, or?
In April.
And what license do you have now?
Extra.
What license do you have?
General.
You got a general. Are you going to try to get your extra and catch up with her?
I've tried 3 times now.
You'll make it. You just study the questions. You'll get it. All right. Tell us your call and your name.
My name is Hope, and I'm KM4IPF.
Okay. And how long have you had your license? 5 or 10 years, maybe?
No.
No?
March.
March. How old are you?
8.
8. And you've got what license do you have?
I am technician.
You have a tech license. So we have a tech and a general and an extra license, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Do you, wow. You got your own radios?
Yes.
Hold your radio up. Let's see what kind of radio. Let me have this.
Actually, we got these radios from a club. Well, it's the KM4. No, wait, not KM4.
It's the W4CAR Club.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you know how to work this thing? I mean, I have some radios like this, but I don't know how to work all the buttons. It's very confusing to me.
This
See?
turns it on.
Yeah.
And you turn it up to you just put it all the way there.
Yeah. So do you know how to put that radio on a repeater frequency or maybe simplex? Do you know all that stuff?
This is simplex. National call is simplex. You can push this and then it's at the number ones.
All right.
And if you push this, the arrow one is the one it's on. If you push this, it'll go on the other one.
You know more about radios than I do now. I tell you.
I don't know what call does.
So
They are speaking and they gotta go.
Faith is a speaker. She's a speaker at the forum, and
I want to speak next
you're a
year.
speaker. Zachariah's a speaker at the forum. Now, what are you going to be talking about?
Antennas.
Antennas. First contact with satellite. That is so cool.
and I want to talk next year on about satellites.
Okay, so, man, hey, it took me almost 1 year to work my first satellite. I could hear them, but they never talked to me. And what's the secret? What's the secret of talking to through a satellite and have people answer you?
Well, one thing is when you're young, you just say what age you are, and they always catch on because they want to talk to you. One guy I was not really talking to because I didn't really hear. He went on the internet and sent an email. Please, I need this area. So I called.
That is a ham radio family, guys. I tell you, I was really impressed with them. Trying to get everything back to normal here. Okay. I tell you, those kids were really schooled well. They spoke well. They were smart. They taught me a few things, you know. I think that this interview proves that any age can study and get your ham license. Oh, wow. So, Ted, how long have you been a ham now? Or you didn't get your license at 8, did you?
Let's see, no. I was about, I think maybe 11 or 12 years old, something like that. I don't know, somewhere in that vicinity.
Well, you beat me then. I mean, I got mine at 16, so how'd you do it so early, Ted? Did you have any help?
Well, I mean, that's a long story in itself. But I had the head of the Detroit FCC field office. His name was Richard Cotton, W8DX, and he busted me for bootleg broadcasting on the AM broadcast band.
Oh, man. Did he really do that?
Yes, he did. He was a pretty stern fellow, too. I was very surprised. But that was kind of like my route in. What happened was he came and knocked on the door and said, "You'd like to see this broadcasting station." My mom said, "Well, he's down in his room. Just go on down there, you know." And he did. He came down and he took out his wallet and he had a badge on it. And a lot of people say, "Well, the FCC doesn't." This guy had a badge, okay? And he told me, he said, "You don't understand the consequences of all this." He said, "I could confiscate everything in your room, including your bunk beds, right now." And, of course, I looked at him, and I was just dumbfounded. I kind of, in the back of my mind, knew that it was illegal to do it, but it just didn't quite gel. I built up this thing out of an old television chassis, and I had a 6146, and there was a final, and I had, I think, 2 6V6s or 6L6. God, it's been so long. Anyways, those were the modulators. I used a transformer out of an old public address amplifier, like an old Bogan, for the modulation transformer. Then I used the plate transformer out of the old television set. So he asked me how much power it ran, and I said, "I don't know. It's under 10 watts." I said the plate voltage times the plate current equals the power input, but I said, "I have no idea what the efficiency is." I said, "But raw, right from the get-go, 10 watts or less, you know." And anyways, he was more understanding than I thought, because he didn't put me off the air. He said, "I want you to turn this thing down to about 5 watts input." He said, "I don't want you to go beyond," and he gave me a list of street names I was very familiar with because I lived there. "I don't want to hear you beyond this street, beyond this," but these were roads, like Michigan Avenue, Van Born Road, and all. "I don't want to hear you beyond that." And he said, "If you're beyond that, I'm coming back. I don't want to hear any bad language on here or anything, any questionable thing." He said, "You are on a blank frequency." He said, "You've done very good there." And then he turned around to walk out, and when he did, he was going up the steps. He said to me, he said, "Play me some more of that Bert Kempfert music." He said, your audio is really good." So I did. I played every Bert Kempfert album I had. But he went to the Motor City Radio Club, which met at Greenfield Village in Detroit, actually Dearborn, and he told those guys, "Make a ham out of this young man." And so I had a lot of Elmers. I had a lot of Elmers calling on me. But I think he kind of did it in a threatening tone, like either you get this done or else. You know?
Man, I I didn't know I was friends with a renegade outlaw here, Ted.
Oh man, this was good stuff. Yeah, I had a signal on. Hey, I learned a long time ago though. I could take a phono oscillator, and I could lasso the phone line outside, the big sheath that went across it, and that doggone thing would carry the signal for a long ways, and you could go 3-4 miles from the house as long as you took your transistor radio and put it up near the telephone. It'd come in great.
Yeah.
So I learned what carrier current was. Didn't know what it was, but I knew how to make it happen.
Well, I did a little bit of that when I was, in 16 or whatever, and had my own little station. But man, I never ran a 6146 with two 6L6 plate modulators. I mean, you were big time, man. Big time.
I didn't think I was. I thought it was, because, really on the AM dial, 5 watts doesn't get you very much. I mean, you don't go very far with 5 watts.
Yeah.
So
what kind of antenna did you have out there?
I just had a long wire and just, coupling. But I moved way up on the top of the dial because I learned that a long wire down the dial, say at 550 or 560 or something, would stretch all the way down to the end of the block, so I had to make the antenna pretty short and load it up. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Let me put it that way. I had a lot of kids listening, a lot of kids from school listening, so it was a good learning experience. But see, that's the whole thing. I mean, I've heard people say about how the FCC is real rough and tough and how they'll do this. Hey, this guy could have walked off with everything I had and punished the daylights out of me. And he was a rough and gruff type guy. He really was. A W8DX, Richard Cotton. And but instead, he actually saw some potential there, and he went to the Motor City Radio Club and said, "Make a ham out of this kid." So, and that's what they did. I came home from school one day. There was a pile of test equipment out by my back door. I mean, old ICO and Heathkit and these guys, stuff they had extra. They brought it all over and put it in a big pile. Man, I was in hog heaven. I didn't know what had hit me. And it wasn't too long after that I got the ham license. But I was like a lot of other guys. I started out on Citizens Band because I didn't know there was anything else. So
yeah. Well, I'm surprised the guy left and told you to keep operating, man. all the stories I've ever heard. They take an axe to it. Oh, that was Prohibition, wasn't it? Where they take an axe to everything.
Well, and I've heard the stories too, but look at this. You're looking at a kid. You're not looking at an adult. A kid has done something relatively remarkable, built an AM transmitter out of an old television set. So I think therein lies the distinction. Now today, would an FCC field inspector do that? I would suspect he would. I would suspect that if he saw that, he'd say, "Hey, you act up." But then today, kids are different. Kids are going to be doing all kinds of crazy stuff if they have. But they don't have, some of them just don't have any interest in anything like that. To me, that was like the focus of my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It was really the sick little kid, So, but anyhow.
Maybe we just need to have a show one night and talk about all the crazy things that we did with ham radio growing up,
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting and get a lot of people to participate.
Yeah, maybe have them where they can dial in and everybody can tell their story.
I mean, how many broadcast engineers, how many radio broadcast engineers in the world today that are currently hams did bootleg broadcasting as a kid? Would that not make a remarkable radio show or a show period?
Yeah, it would be fun. We'll have to do that one day. All right, well, let's see what we got going here, Ted. That's about our lineup for tonight. We didn't have a lot lined up because of the Dayton thing took all of our time, and we came back and we're really pressured here to get the show going tonight. We had to build the studio back up. So we're not doing the pictures tonight, but let me just make an announcement. If anybody out there wants to send us pictures of your Radio Shack, or if any of you shortwave listeners would like to send us a picture of you listening, please send it to Tom at W5KUB.com, Tom at W5KUB.com. And again, join the QSL Radio Facebook and Twitter. Also, if you look below the chat room here, you'll see we have a Join Us on Facebook button. You can also sign up for our email, and we're also on Twitter, W5KUB. Well, Ted, any closing words there you might have tonight?
I guess not, other than the fact that Dayton was fun. Looking forward to it again next year. I noticed that Holly had something, I don't know what it was, an app or something on her phone that popped up and said X number of days until the Hamvention 2016.
Oh, yeah. The counter's already started counting down, you know.
So I don't know where she got that or what that was all about, but she was showing it to me. So
yeah.
No, I think it was a remarkable show, and all of us were tired here. I mean, poor David, he was handling a console, and by the time he got it in his van and some of the other problems we had, he had to actually roll the window down and allow part of it to stick out the window. And he drove all the way from Tennessee to Dayton like that, and then drove all the way back, and then had to suffer with the rain coming back. So.
Well, I was going to say, and I was talking to Dave, I know that table you've got, that tabletop is so large it sticks out of his van. And I asked him, I said, what happens when it rains? And he says, we don't drive in the rain, you know, we plan around it. But let me tell you, Sunday when we came back, we hit some rain, and I would imagine part of the table got wet there.
Well, he had it covered. I don't know how he did it, but he did, you know. But next year, hopefully, what we'll do is we'll have a little bit different vehicle, because we've got to have the broadcast console tabletop in order to get all the equipment and everything on there. And another thing, for it to look professional, too. I mean, you go by our booth, it looks like a radio station sitting there, and that's basically what it is, you know. So,
yeah.
Well, anyways, that was a good show. I enjoyed...
Well, let me answer just a couple of questions here real quick in the chat room. Someone was asking me about Kenwood. We didn't even talk to Kenwood today because we know that they typically don't talk to you. I've talked to them before in the past, and they just will not spend any time talking to any media, anybody filming. They've got a rule. They've got to have a special spokesperson that's cleared to do all that, and they feel they need to focus more on the people there at the Ham Fest. Even though there may be 1,000 people watching and have questions, that's a nice audience. But that's just Kenwood. ICOM Yezu has been very nice to us. Dennis Machenbacher always spends time with us. We tried to get by and see him once, but they were already he was gone. And ICOM is always very nice to us. Ray Novak always talks with us. We had Ray say a few words a time or two when he would pass through, but he was very busy too. And if you ever go to Dayton, you'll see everybody is so busy, you don't have time to really do anything. Also, people are asking questions about the equipment stolen or removed. What we had done, our wireless coverage covers pretty much the buildings with the exception of the main arena. And we had arranged to use an existing Cat 5, well, not existing, but there was a Cat 5 cable installed that went over to ICOM for our show this week. And it came back and connected to some Exceed equipment. And we'd already had that worked out with Exceed, where we were going to roll into the main arena, put an access point in there, and we would have coverage in there to talk with the vendors. Well, after a little while, of course, about the time we rolled in, ICOM started tearing down. And somehow the message got to the Exceed guys, and the Exceed guys took the equipment off that feed outside somewhere. So we didn't have any connection at all on that feed. We went to a 4G connection. It wasn't very good. It worked a little bit. I think you saw some of the stuff, but so it wasn't our equipment that was stolen, but it was some networking equipment that was taken off. All right, so. Join us, everybody. Please join us in Roundtable.
and that's where everybody can get on and just come in to be on the video and audio, say hello to us, and we'll say good night from me and Ted. How do you sign off, Ted?
I just say goodbye. I say hello.
Just goodbye, right? Hello, goodbye, right? All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and the official show pretty much is over, the structured show, but we're going to keep the webcast on, and you can join us, guys. Just come into that link I just gave you, and it's going to take me about a minute or two, but I will get on there and we'll see how many's in there. All right, we're making some progress here. All right. Jeffrey has got a lot of noise coming out. Jeffrey, turn your mic down or mute it. I can help mute it right here. There we go. I see Chris in there. There's Chris. Let me see. How you doing, Chris? Oh. I guess I have to turn my mic on for people to hear me. Okay. How you doing? How you doing, Chris? Chris, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Your mic is muted, Chris. You have to unmute your mic at the top. Okay, we'll go to Ron. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Oh, doing all right.
At least I can hear you.
You can see me instead of the radio, huh?
So where are you, Ron?
Oh, I am right here. Let's go crunch around without getting you all dizzy.
Yeah, where are you located?
Oh, Ron, K9ID, Buffalo Grove.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got you. I know who you are now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was having all kinds of trouble.
One of our shirts today.
Yeah, you're pretty muffled. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, I see. I like it. I like it. I like that shirt.
A piece of garbage mic you flipped into the mic.
Yeah.
I can try a different mic.
We brought all the stuff back from Dayton, and we threw it all together and today trying to get ready for this webcast, and we've got a few issues with certain things. I don't think this is the PC we normally use. But hey, this is I'm talking to Ron, K9ID, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, hey Ron. Well, hey, and thanks a lot for the prizes. You donated a couple hats that we gave out on the webcast.
Yeah, I'm hearing. I should probably try and mute the other one because I'm hearing audio off the webcast. I'm hearing audio in the Hangout.
Go to the webcast. Go to the webcast.
All right.
And then at the bottom left, there's a little speaker symbol. You can mute that.
Got it.
And now you won't hear audio. You know.
Yeah. Now I'm
30 seconds.
Hearing you. I'm not hearing all that other stuff. Feedback.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go back, jump down here to Chris a minute. Let's see if Chris has found out how to unmute his mic. Chris, you there?
I'm going to see if I can get my other mic working.
Chris, your mic is muted. Are you there? Chris? Well, Chris must not be listening. Hey, Jeffrey. There's Jeffrey. How you doing, man?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good to see you again. That's that pretty shack I like.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a lot of fun in Dayton. That was great. A little trouble getting into the chat room tonight. I had to ring my Mac up here, and it's the only way I could get in. All sorts of job errors.
You know,
don't understand.
There appears to be a lot of things going on here lately. There were right before we left the trip, there were like a bunch of updates. I think I understand that Microsoft had to recall their updates that they were causing a lot of problems. I've got other issues here. I don't know. We'll have to work through them during the week. But anyway, so now, did I even see you at Dayton this year? Did you come by?
Yeah, absolutely. You had me on for a few minutes. We talked a little bit.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Man, it's just been one big blur
to me.
I'm sure.
Man. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun seeing everyone out there. It's more the camaraderie than going out there to buy stuff, because I mean, obviously, I don't need anything. I just like to go out and meet the people that I've met the year before. I got to hang out with Gordon West again this year for a couple hours at the hotel we stay at, which was a blast. He's a great guy.
Yeah, yeah. The audio's not as good on here tonight as it is some other nights. I'm hearing you okay, but it sounds a little muffled. It doesn't sound too good. Let me see if Chris is back on here. Chris, are you there? Chris, say something. Looks like he's in his truck. Looks like he's in his truck. Are you there, Chris? His mic is muted. Chris, your mic is muted if you want to say something.
All right, let's see if this works.
Okay, we're going to have to probably write Chris off. I don't think we're going to get him. So back to you, Ron. Hey, man.
Yeah, can you hear me okay now?
Yeah,
better than it was?
We hear you pretty good there.
Okay, because I just switched over and I'm using this Bluetooth headset instead of the microphone that's built into the camera, so it should be a little crisper and a little less echoey.
Yeah, well, it's doing okay. Yeah, I had difficulty getting over here tonight. It seemed like everything I wanted to use wasn't working when I came over this part. Murphy and Microsoft, yeah, they kind of work together. Yeah,
that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I've got some multiple cameras here. I didn't even get a chance to show people the different cameras. There's my that's my right camera right there. Hello, guys. Hello, right camera. And then we're going to go back over to left camera, and I'll say hello to everybody sitting over here on the left side of the room. Now we're back. Now we're back to you guys on Roundtable here. So I don't know what happened with Chris. It looks like he probably checked in. It looks like there's a picture of him in his truck. So he may be mobile and may be on his telephone, so that may be why he's not on here right now. So, Jeffrey, how long you been going to Hamvention?
Do I still have it? I don't know if I muted myself or not.
Yeah, you're there.
Okay. That was my 4th year.
Okay.
Ham for almost 25 years, and I don't know what took so long, but it's my 4th straight year.
Yeah. Well, hopefully, now
many more to come, I'm sure.
Did you get caught in any of the rain out there on Saturday?
No, I did not. I had ample warning, and I just got inside at probably about 2 minutes before it came down. I was by the giant loose tower, and you could hear that rain come down. Well, that was Friday, I think, the first rainstorm.
Yeah.
And that roof there was you could hear that rain.
Yeah, just a minute.
I'm looking at your picture here on the output of the webcast, and it's not adjusted just great. Let me see what I can do to make it look better. See if I can stretch it out a little. There we go. This might make everybody see your picture a little bit better.
Larry?
There we go. All right, Chris, you still there? Hello, Chris.
Larry?
I don't hear him.
Telephone.
I hear Ron. He must have got a telephone call. Oh, okay. Chris is there with no mic. Obviously, the camera's not turned on, so he's at about 20% level. Yeah, well, guys, Bobby Pro, you're welcome. Hopefully, we gave you guys some something to look at. It's real difficult to give everybody everything they want. We have so many people with so many requests, and we have
We have so many people coming up to us to get on. It's real difficult to just to do everything, man. We are completely busy from, you know, the time the door opens in the morning till the time that we shut down in the evening, and then it all starts over the next day. We hardly ever even have time to get a hot dog or anything like that. I need to upgrade to green screen. Well, we did use a green screen for quite a while. On several shows, we do have a green screen that we put behind us. I wasn't real happy with the way the green screen worked. It looked pretty good, but I had a little bit of a glow around me. You know how you can see the glow around a person's edge, and we tried all different lighting and everything, and I was never really able to get the green screen cleaned up where it looked completely natural, you know, like this. So we decided not to use the green screen. I don't know if the attendance was up or down. It's really hard to say. I would imagine in the next few days they're going to come out with a count from the ticket sales. So Ron, what do you think? You think the attendance was up this year or down or?
Well, I seemed to me like it was up because we were a lot busier this year in the booth than we had been in previous years.
Well, if you were
maybe
busier,
we were just doing a better job of selling it, or maybe the people just knew where we were, or they're getting used to us. We've been in the same spot now for I think this is our fifth year in the spot where we are, you know, where we are, that oddball kind of spot in the